Have you ever pondered how much the world around us owes to the ancient Egyptians? As we take a step back into the annals of time, our journey begins around 5,000 years ago, in the year 3100 BC. It was during this period that the world witnessed the birth of one of its first civilizations, the ancient Egyptians. Nestled in the northeastern corner of Africa, the land of Egypt was divided into two regions: the southern highlands, known as Upper Egypt, and the northern lowlands, or Lower Egypt. Despite being part of the same geographical entity, these two regions were distinct entities with their own unique cultures and rulers. But as the dawn of the 3rd millennium BC approached, something extraordinary happened. These two disparate regions were unified under the rule of a single leader, the first pharaoh, Narmer. The unification of Upper and Lower Egypt marked a significant milestone in human history. It was the birth of a centralized state, a concept that was virtually unheard of in those times. The pharaoh was not just a political leader, but a divine entity, a god on earth who maintained the cosmic order and ensured the Nile's annual flood, which was crucial for their agriculture. Speaking of the Nile, one cannot overlook the river's role in the development of this civilization. The Nile River, with its predictable flooding and rich, fertile soil, was a lifeline for the ancient Egyptians. It was their source of food, a means of transportation, and even their pathway to the afterlife. The river's bounty enabled the Egyptians to thrive and build a civilization that was far ahead of its time. From this humble beginning, Egypt would soon rise to become a dominant power in the Mediterranean world. But that is a story for another time. For now, let's marvel at the dawn of civilization, at the birth of a society that would leave an indelible mark on human history. The pharaohs, divine rulers of Egypt, wielded immense power and influence. But what did they do for Egypt and humanity itself? In the golden age of pharaohs, these awe-inspiring rulers were not just monarchs, but they were also considered gods on earth. Their reigns were not just about maintaining power, but were also about advancing their civilization and contributing to the broader canvas of human history. One of the most significant contributions of these divine rulers was the creation of the first written language, hieroglyphics. This complex system of pictorial writing was more than just an artistic endeavor. It was a tool for communication and record-keeping, which played a crucial role in the administration of the vast Egyptian empire. Hieroglyphics marked a milestone in human history, allowing us to express abstract ideas, emotions, and experiences in a tangible form. This gift from the pharaohs opened the doors to literature, philosophy, and science, and still influences our understanding of communication today. But the pharaohs didn't stop at hieroglyphics. Their vision extended beyond the borders of Egypt, leading to the establishment of extensive trade routes. These networks not only allowed Egypt to flourish economically, but they also facilitated cultural exchange with other ancient civilizations. Through trade, ideas, technologies, and customs were shared, sowing the seeds of globalization that we see today. These contributions were not made in isolation. Each pharaoh built upon the legacy of their predecessors, creating a civilization that was rich in culture, knowledge, and innovation. They built cities, temples, and monuments, many of which still stand as testaments to their grandeur and sophistication. The impact of these developments was not confined to Egypt. They rippled outwards, influencing societies far beyond the Nile Valley. The pharaohs' contributions were instrumental in shaping the trajectory of human history, paving the way for future advancements in various fields. The pharaohs set the stage for Egypt to become a melting pot of knowledge and culture. Their reign marked an era of growth and prosperity that would eventually lead to Egypt's pivotal role in the ancient world. The golden age of pharaohs was indeed golden, not just for Egypt but for all of humanity. In 332 BC, a young conqueror named Alexander the Great set his sights on Egypt. What happened next would forever alter the course of history. Taking the reins of an already expansive empire at the tender age of 20, Alexander the Great was nothing short of ambitious. His conquest led him to Egypt, a land rich in culture and history. Yet instead of imposing his own culture and beliefs, Alexander embraced the Egyptian way of life. He was declared as pharaoh, a god-king, much to the delight of the local populace who welcomed him as a liberator rather than a conqueror. In the Nile Delta, Alexander founded a city that would bear his name, Alexandria. Envisioned as a hub that would connect Greece with the fertile Nile Valley, Alexandria was more than just a city. It was an idea, a dream of a place where the wisdom of the world could converge. Under Alexander's rule and later the Ptolemaic dynasty, Alexandria flourished. The Great Library of Alexandria was established, an institution that would come to symbolize the city's intellectual prowess. Here, the ancient world's greatest minds gathered, sharing knowledge and ideas. Scholars, scientists, poets, and philosophers all found a home in Alexandria. They studied the heavens, explored the depths of the human mind, and unraveled the mysteries of the natural world. This exchange of ideas and knowledge sparked an intellectual revolution, the effects of which are still felt today. Yet Alexandria was not just a city of scholars, it was a melting pot where cultures from the East and West met and intermingled. It was a city that celebrated diversity, fostering an environment of mutual respect and understanding. In this city by the sea, the ancient world was being reshaped. Ideas were exchanged, knowledge was shared, and humanity took a giant leap forward. From the labyrinthine streets of Alexandria, the course of history was being charted. And so, Alexandria stood as a beacon of knowledge, drawing scholars from all corners of the known world. But all great things must come to an end. The Great Library, this extraordinary repository of knowledge, met a tragic fate. As the heart of intellectual life in Alexandria, its destruction marked the beginning of the end for the once powerful Egypt. Imagine, if you will, a library unlike any other. A place where the world's knowledge was housed, where scholars from all corners of the known world came to study, debate, and share their wisdom. This was the Great Library of Alexandria, a beacon of enlightenment in an often tumultuous world. But in a cruel twist of fate, this symbol of knowledge would be consumed by the very element that had once been mankind's first source of light and warmth: fire. The exact circumstances of the library's destruction remain shrouded in mystery. Some accounts point to Julius Caesar, who during a battle in Alexandria in 48 BC, set fire to his own ships to prevent them from falling into enemy hands. The fire supposedly spread to the city, reaching the library and reducing it to ashes. Other accounts suggest that the library gradually declined due to neglect and lack of funds. Regardless of how it happened, the burning of the Great Library was a catastrophe of unparalleled magnitude. Thousands upon thousands of scrolls containing priceless knowledge and wisdom were lost forever. This was not just a loss for Egypt, but for the entire world. The collective intellectual wealth of humanity, accumulated over centuries, vanished in the blink of an eye. The loss of the Great Library sent ripples through the ancient world, marking the beginning of Egypt's decline. Without its intellectual hub, the city of Alexandria lost its influence. As the centuries wore on, Egypt would gradually lose its status as a global power, becoming a pawn in the hands of foreign empires. With the burning of the Great Library, Egypt was never the same. This tragic event stands as a stark reminder of the fragility of knowledge and the devastating consequences of its loss. It serves as a poignant testament to the enduring power of the written word and the profound impact its loss can have on the course of history. Despite its decline, the influence of ancient Egypt is undeniable, but how does it continue to shape the modern world? Ancient Egypt, a civilization that flourished for over 3,000 years, has left an indelible mark on the world. Its legacy is far-reaching and profound, touching every facet of human life, from language and culture to the sciences, architecture, and philosophy. The Egyptian hieroglyphs, a system of writing using symbols, were a precursor to the alphabets used today. The Rosetta Stone, a slab of granite discovered in the 19th century, unlocked the mysteries of these hieroglyphs, enabling us to understand and appreciate the rich tapestry of Egyptian history and culture. In the realm of architecture, the Egyptians were true pioneers. They were the first to build monumental structures using stone. Their mastery of geometry and their innovative construction techniques are still studied and admired today. While the pyramids are the most iconic Egyptian structures, their influence extends to many modern buildings, from government edifices to grand museums around the globe. Egypt's contributions to the sciences are equally significant. They developed a decimal system and used complex mathematics to solve real-world problems, such as determining the area of a field or calculating the volume of a pyramid. Their understanding of the human body and medicinal practices were advanced for their time, laying the groundwork for modern medicine. In philosophy, ancient Egypt's concept of Ma'at, truth, balance, order, harmony, law, morality, and justice has permeated various cultures and philosophies around the world. This concept is still reflected in today's legal and moral systems. But perhaps the greatest legacy of ancient Egypt is its spirit of inquiry and thirst for knowledge. This was epitomized in the Great Library of Alexandria, a beacon of learning that attracted scholars from far and wide. And so, the echoes of ancient Egypt continue to reverberate throughout history, reminding us of a civilization that once stood at the pinnacle of human achievement.